Happy to Hockey asks, when calculating your financial independence number, do you consider inflation? So if I need $40K per year now, does that mean I need like 1 million for the 4% rule? Or should it be considerably higher because of inflation?
So the answer is yes, absolutely. You should factor in inflation. And frankly, one of the big misnomers or mistakes that we see people make in their retirement planning is they pick a number. They're like, oh, okay, as soon as I get to $1 million, then I'm going to retire. Or maybe it's as soon as I get to 2 million, then I'm going to retire. And we kind of have to walk them through, hey, that's great, but if you're doing that 15 years from now, the 4% withdrawal rate is still going to be 4% of whatever the nominal value of dollars you have is. But the real purchasing power of those dollars is going to have decreased. Said differently, $2 million 15 years from now will not be the same as $2 million today. So that absolutely is something that has to be factored into your plan so that you don't think, okay, I'm going to build to $1 million, build to $1 million, build to $1 million, build to $1 million. And you get to $1 million, you're like, holy cow, 40 grand won't do what I thought 40 grand was going to do for me. It's absolutely something that has to factor in.
Without a doubt, inflation has an impact. And what I think is just frustrating is that forever, for really the last 2 to 3 decades, you could just say, well, I'll use an inflation adjustment of 2 to 3% and I'll be fine. But then here we come through post-pandemic and we see that inflation is spiked
like
up.
8.5 or something.
It depends on which variables you look at, because if you did it off the calculation that was done in the early 80s, we're definitely into double-digit figures, specifically on certain sectors and products that we all use on a day-to-day basis. It can be frustrating, especially as you're quickly approaching. If you're within that 5, even 10-year mark of retirement, you kind of want to be zoning in on what you need to be successful. But don't worry. This is why we do create the tools that we have to kind of be there with you in the co-pilot section. So as you're making those small incremental decisions that get you to financial independence, you'll be prepared. So the first thing you're going to need to do, put on those 3D glasses. What do I mean by 3D glasses? Is that you need to be able to think about creating a retirement plan that reflects all scenarios that could come your way. And when I talk about 3Ds, we're talking about, we've got the dream plan. This is, oh my gosh, thing is going to be so good in retirement. It's awesome. Then you're going to have the down to earth plan. This is what you think will happen. And then you got the doo-doo plan. This is when, oh my gosh, it's going to go bad. And you're saying, well, Brian, how do I create these 3 plans? How's this possible? We got you covered. Know Your Number course. If you go to learn.moneyguy.com, we've actually created the Know Your Number. If you're trying to figure out, what is my retirement number? What is my age? What are the variables, whether it's rate of return, whether it's inflation? We have this. We have the ability where you can sit there and do drop downs, change the assumptions, and on the fly, it's going to show right in real time what those numbers mean. You can quickly paint by numbers and fill in that 3D plan so that as you are getting closer, and then once you get to the point that you're like, man, I am within 5 years of retirement. The Know Your Number course did a great job of getting me close. I feel like I played a great game of horseshoes, but I can't just be playing, is it close? Or do I need to know if I've really rung this thing, if I've hit the bullseye on my retirement? That's where the abundance cycle is going to come in. That's where you'll need a co-pilot. You'll have somebody who walks you through all your blind spots and lets you know how strong have you built up and what's your probability of success. We can hopefully be able to help you with that when you graduate through that process.
Love it.